Over 60 years ago, Malcolm X made a brilliant observation about life in America. He actually metaphorically said, Malcolm actually studied life on the plantation and, the antebellum South, life during slavery and all of that. And basically, he was a student of that. So he came up with a brilliant metaphor that actually applies to us today. He says, America is like a plantation. He says literally you have your overarching government that tries to enforce this sort of authoritarian rule, taxation policy, free speech policies, these types of things that we used to think were free, and we're not so much free. He says then you have, and those are the overlords. Those will be the ones that overlord on the plantation. He says metaphorically speaking, that's what the government is. Then he says, you have your house slaves, your house Negroes, and those are the ones like in the media, who try to enforce, who try to, gaslight the people and help us to believe that, the government is, really our friend, and global governance is wonderful, and communism is great, and socialism is going to be fine. These are the people who are paid by the overlords to do their bidding, and they'll basically say and do anything to make sure that they're obedient and that they they attempt to manipulate others by guilting and shaming and doing all these other things to the American public. Then he says you have your American public that, look, like, Frederick Douglass and Sojourner Truth and Harry Tubman, those that have left the plantation thinking, left this whole idea of somebody being authoritarian over them, and they're just free. So these are the field slaves. And he said field slaves just have an innate desire to be free. They don't want any overarching totalitarian government or authoritarian control over them. He said that would be people like us. And so this is why I started my YouTube channel called Off the Plantation. On Off the Plantation, The Journey Towards Freedom, I actually take current events and overlay this metaphor and actually help us all to begin to see with clear eyes what's happening here in America and around the world. And so I apply daily news, daily current events, basically with this metaphorical overlay. And so we all begin to see what's happening, and more importantly, so we can all maintain our freedom. So we can all begin to actually enjoy our freedom and actually know how to embrace our freedom and actually know how to thrive in our freedom and stay off the plantation. The idea is to get off the plantation, get off the sort of groupthink, collectivist, globalist, these types of overarching, archetypes that basically drive the agenda, not only in America, but around the world, and helps it, by us rejecting that, it helps us to remain free. So join me, Off the Plantation, The Journey Towards Freedom on YouTube. I'll look forward to seeing you there. God bless you.